It's three guys who combined to play 15 seasons in the National Football League trenches. Well, two guys. And Mackey, who didn't do shit. This is the O-Line Committee.
We are on a time constraint today because, in Alex's words, I have to watch film of an 18-year-old. So
shit just got weird.
just,
take it how you want to.
Don't
you dare judge me.
Football player.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Mackie, you knock this shit off.
By the
now.
way, when are you actually going to spend some of that money and buy ourselves a new setup? Because you look like you're from Walmart, dude. Like, you've just got the great value connection, the great value setup over there. It's time for a new computer in the Boone household.
No, I just looked this good today. Look at this. Look at this tan.
No, you can't even tell.
See that? Chaplain Park
blurry.
tournament, softball tournament. God, my
Wow,
girls
dude.
were crushing. Check this out. We go to extra innings, right? Coach comes up to me. First thing the coach says to me as I'm walking onto the goddamn field, "Are you the Rhino?" And I go, fuck. I got to watch what I say out here today now. Damn it. So we go to extra innings, and she comes up to me, and she's like, she's clearly really nervous, and I don't know why. She comes up, she goes, I just want to tell you, if we're tied after this, it comes down to a coin flip. I go, a coin flip?
With
a coin flip determines
game
who
result?
Yes. She goes, a coin flip. I go, well, who the hell gets to call it? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, whoa, dude. Like, when we're already in a problem. Like, we ended up losing by one. It was...
Would you rather lose by one or lose the coin flip?
Lose by one.
Listen, I'd rather lose by one because if I'd have lost that coin flip, it was their tournament. I would have thrown that coin at somebody so hard if we would have lost. If it was heads and I called tails, like I would have fucking beat faces in.
Listen, I understand that, like, with youth tournaments and stuff, you got to schedule. You can't play 17 innings or whatever. Can't we find a better way than a coin flip to decide a youth softball game?
I did the old double take. Did you say coin flip? She's like, I am so embarrassed. Yes, I did. I was like, girls, we better do something. I'm not going to lie. We went toe-to-toe with them. They're one of the better teams in the state. I was very proud of my girls, but you got to get those grounders, man. You got just that much bend.
You know what? In fact, today's episode, we're just going to do an hour. We're going to rank the other ways you could decide a softball game besides a coin flip.
Oh, there's a million
60 straight minutes. Let's do it. No,
Pass.
Jay's out.
Great. Hey, I'll tell you what, though. We had so much fun standing out in the sun all day. It was gorgeous. So fun.
Yeah, we need you to invite the O-Line committee out for a live YouTube stream.
We're playing Minute Talk on Wednesday. Let's go, ladies.
Okay,
Let's go.
Let's make it happen.
You're welcome to come.
So, boys, we're going to meet in the A-Gap today. We've got Jeremiah's F1 Racing Minute. We've got dumb football questions. We've got all sorts of things here. We promised you also a reevaluation of the 2022 NFL draft because draft grades are dumb the week after the draft. No one knows what's going to happen. But 3 years after, now we can dunk on some teams and praise some teams with full authority. But I want to give you guys, to start the show here, a spoiler for the 2025 NFL season.
Spoilers.
This is a spoiler alert because I will tell you the 14 NFL playoff teams, division winners and wildcard teams, now that we've seen the offseason play out.
And now that we've got our drafted rookies, we'll really be able to nail this one.
You won't even need, UDFAs, you won't even need to watch the season because I'm going to tell you which 14 teams.
I'm already writing this down. The day Mackey put his foot in his mouth.
As of 5/5/25.
Hey, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Absolutely. I'm having a margarita later.
Mackey, foot in mouth. Got it. Here we go.
Make sure you got all that written down there, okay?
Can't wait. Steak and a beer.
Here we go,
right
boys.
Here. Steak and a beer, by the way.
Would you like to start in the American Football Conference or the National Football
I
Conference?
would like to start in the AFC, please.
Start in the AFC West, please.
Yeah, gladly. Because in the AFC West, we have a new division champion in 2025.
Oh, I knew you were going to do it.
That's right. We have a new division champion. We have the Los Angeles Chargers with
drinking the Kool-Aid.
A new running back room.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Mekhi Becton and all 375 whatever pounds of him joining Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt to form one of the best offensive lines in the AFC. Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton as the Jim Harbaugh hand-picked running back tandem. That's a team that ran the ball at will last year and will get even better at it this year. Plus, Justin Herbert I know he sucks in the playoffs, but he's really good for the regular season.
And his hair is amazing. I know.
And he's got amazing hair. He's got amazing hair.
I'm
just glad he had enough money to fix his skin. My wife was like, he's got to get that acne off his face. He's got so much money now. It's like, that is such a woman thing to say.
Right.
I feel like
he's got to get his face. He's got to get his.
First.
He's got to get his face right.
Teeth
like
and
the
face.
kid's 21 years old. He's still popping. Pimples.
You can always tell who gets the new contract by who shows up to training camp with the veneers and like acne-less face when they're 24
little
years
Botox in the cheeks.
Yeah.
It's like
We're not judging. We're not judging.
I hope
Yeah.
he doesn't bleach his hair again this year. That didn't end up so well last year.
Joe's having a crazy year. He bleached his hair. He's on the train. He's going crazy this year. That train exploded.
So we got the Chargers. I'll give you the division winners, and then I'll give you the 3 wildcard teams. So Chargers, and then it's kind of chalky. I've got the Bills. I'm looking for reasons to shake things up because every year there's a bunch of turnover, but it's in some of these divisions it's kind of hard. So give me the Bills, give me the Ravens, and I tried like hell to find a team to usurp the Texans. I feel like the Texans downgraded the offensive line, but it feels like the Colts also downgraded the offensive line. I guess I wouldn't be shocked to see Jacksonville snap out of it with like a healthy Trevor Lawrence year, but I still have Houston with maybe 10 wins winning the South. So Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chargers is my big shakeup for AFC division win.
So who are the 3 contenders with them? Who's with them?
All right, 3 wild
I
card
can't fight
teams.
you until I know everybody in.
Sure. I'm not bold enough to put the Chiefs out of the entire bracket. So
there
we'll
you go. You're smart. There you go.
We'll put Jeremiah's Chiefs team there in the wild card
Look at
spot.
that flag, loser. Find him.
I think the Bengals played just enough defense they kept the 2 receivers, Joe Burrow staying healthy. They still competed for a playoff spot despite playing 0 defense and losing a week 1 game to the Patriots, if I remember correctly. So people kind of treat the Bengals like they're further away than they were like 1 extra win. They were a home win in week 1 away from just being in last year with a bad defense. So I've got them as a wild card team. And then the other shocker. Give me the Raiders.
I knew you were going to say the Raiders. I knew it. I swear to God, if he says Raiders, I'm going to lose it.
That's my biggest leap in the AFC. A weak schedule. Pete Carroll, Ashton Genty, Geno Smith is the best quarterback they've had in a few years.
Yes, dude. Ashton Genty, I really like the pairing of them. And you know how Pete likes to play, right? He is a Mike Zimmer all the way. I'm going to run the ball first. You know what? Fuck it. 4th and 15, run it. 4th and 25, run a draw. I don't care. Just draw it. Do not throw that ball for any reason, right? Like this could actually work when you have one of the best running backs in the NFL. Dude, I am excited for that. But I love how you put the Chiefs back in here. And the Bengals too. Like you really think this whole $50 million to 3 dudes at one time is going to work?
Well, again, they can't play worse defense than they did last year. Famous last words. And they were still a 9-win team still.
Trey Hendrickson is not under contract. Well, he is, but he is not there. Sam Hubbard retired. Like so, that's already 2 major pieces gone.
Sure, that's fair. Well, 1 gone for sure.
They only have $25 million left in cap space. Guess how much the leading sacker in the NFL is going to want to get?
Is your fair points?
North of 30.
But also, I think the Steelers could be a train wreck in the works in that division.
You know what I'm not going to stand for here? The Broncos slander.
Oh, slander!
I'm not going to stand the Broncos slander. The Broncos made the playoffs last year. And now you're putting the Raiders. You're putting the Raiders above the Broncos.
Tell us you're from Denver without telling us you're from Denver. You know what? And I'm pissed the Browns aren't in here too. This bullshit.
No.
Here's what this ding is for. It's a new one on the O-line committee. It's 1 year late takes from Jeremiah here because you're talking to 2 guys that told you last year it was a playoff team. I'm telling you now, as a guy that has seen the Broncos' path clearly, I'm telling you now, it's a step back now. It's like an 8-win, 9-win season now. Maybe and they were 10 wins last year. Yeah. And it's a tough division. Raiders are coming. They're not going to be terrible. They'll be in the mix, like 9-8. But they miss.
I think the crazy part about this is obviously the Raiders are a crazy stretch to get in, but is it crazy to think that the Texans too are a stretch to get in? Because like you said, they've kind of downgraded.
I tried.
Now listen, I don't think
who's winning that division.
Hey, listen. I get with the Colts, right? Like you lose your center, you lose your right guard. They didn't want to lose them. They just can't afford to pay what they were getting paid. So it's kind of like they didn't mean to take a step back. They went out and drafted some O-linemen. Could I see them making a change? Sure. I'm more excited about Jacksonville though. How do you use Travis Hunter? Do you fucking throw him out there on offense and go, listen, we're going to Tyreek Hill the shit out of this, and you're just going to scare everybody this way, and we're going to do everything under here. And then when they figure out what's going on, then we'll toss you one, come back and do the same thing all over again. Could be interesting, dude. Plus, they're in a division that's very takeable, which to me is kind of like, dude, the Travis Hunter could be a huge signing for them. Huge.
Yeah. I tried. I really, with the Colts, the Colts are also, that's a team that's, they're
it's
kind
Anthony
of a punchline, but
it's Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones. Like,
correct.
You can't bet on both those guys to be like, they're going to just come take the helm this year and go.
They're better than
they're a run first team too. They're Jonathan Taylor all the way. I mean, come on. That could work.
Booney. You know,
I'm trying for them.
You know this league. If you don't have QB1, every single one of these teams, Chargers, Herbert, Bills, Josh, Ravens, Lamar,
Chiefs,
Texans,
Bengals,
CJ Stroud, right? Chiefs, Bengals, Burrow, like
you get to the Raiders and you're like, all right, I get it.
In that list, are you going to be like Daniel Jones, who comes in week 3 because Anthony Richardson has a 42% completion percentage, but has 8 50-yard touchdown passes with 7 interceptions? Like, you just can't.
Yeah. I agree.
I still think I take the Broncos year 2 over Raiders year 1 with Pete Carroll.
That division is a gauntlet. The other team that I
Steak and a beer?
really thought, and I think will take a jump, and maybe it's the division's weaker. The Patriots, they're gonna win games against the Jets. They have a last place schedule. If the Dolphins, once you get to like November, December, playing on the road, lose a bunch of games.
Here's the thing with the Patriots: every single person they drafted needs to start and contribute in order for that to happen, and that's a huge dice roll, right? I mean, you're talking about every single one because they are so talent poor on that team right now. Like, they just don't have it across the board. You got to have Will Campbell's got to come out and have like a Rashawn Slater rookie year where he's in a Pro Bowl contention type of piece, right? You have to make sure all those draft picks hit because they can't afford them not to. If that happens, yeah, they could probably be an 8-9 win team. But if it doesn't, you're looking at a 6-7 win team, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I could. Okay.
But
Drake might be that guy too.
He might be.
Elevates
a
franchise.
He really might be, and Vrabel's going to have everything on the right track. It's just, man, if they could take him from worst to even second in that division, that's an unbelievable job by Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. So, okay, AFC, to repeat, fight me in the comments if you guys want.
All right. I'm all right with this list besides the Raiders.
Bills, Ravens, Texans, Chargers winning divisions. Chiefs, Raiders, Bengals as your wild card teams.
I'm all about the Raiders. Let's go. And Jay, the fact that Jay won't steak and a beer should be a fine.
For what? It's May 5th.
Total slander.
It's May 5th.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Not May. I'm not putting my money where my mouth is.
It's a May.
LB steak and a cerveza on this Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, seriously.
You can't even drink. Shut up.
You can't even drink. But have a beer and go to the
NFC, please.
A steak and a THC seltzer.
NFC,
let's go.
Please.
Okay, NFC. Give me a division. Give me a division.
Start with the East.
Start with the South.
We all know where that's going.
Go to the South.
Well, I think in my notes,
the easiest one's the East.
Do the
Why
South.
do I have a TBD in here? Where's my TBD?
It can't be the East.
No, it's the Philadelphia Eagles in the East.
That's why just start there, and we'll get that one out of the way.
There we go.
Okay, so possible step back, Super Bowl hangover, all those things. They lost a couple key rotational players, but this is still like an 11-12 win team juggernaut, really good team.
Saquon stays healthy, they're a 14-win team.
But Saquon, unprecedented workload. There's usually there's some like step back signs here. Also, if the tush push gets banned later this month at the next meeting,
no shot, dude.
That could be a problem for them.
Dude, did you see the quote that Sirianni had where he was like basically calling in shits on all the teams that had gotten head coaching jobs off of his staff? He's like, you owe me. Like, you will vote for this to pass, right? Like, it's like Congress, like the whip. He's just going around like, hey, I got your vote, right? Hey, I made you. You better not ban this. I'll take receipts, right? Like, so you're all just running around gathering votes.
I know where your family lives.
Yeah,
okay?
I know where the skeletons. I know where the skeletons are in the closet.
All right, so you have Eagles.
So Eagles
no tush push.
The NFCs, okay?
Yep.
Let's go. We'll go down to the NFC South here, where the Buccaneers' offense is so rock solid, and Baker Mayfield has become just a legitimate top 10 quarterback in the league. So I still think the Buccaneers, that division is for 20 years has just been like a conveyor belt of You win the division one year, you finish in third the next year. But I think the Buccaneers are going to go back to back, 10 wins. Maybe they can get to 11. So I'll take the Buccaneers in the South. And then let's go Los Angeles Rams in the NFC West.
Ooh.
After a 1-4 start last year, this was one of the best. This was one of the best teams in the NFL from like middle of October through the playoffs. Quite frankly, because they actually almost beat the Eagles. Stafford's back. Devontae Adams, sneaky good defense. Sean McVay, one of the top scheming coaches, culture coaches in the NFL. So they've kind of reloaded on the fly, and as long as Matthew Stafford is healthy and not over the age cliff, that's going to be a double-digit win team. They win that division. That brings us to the NFC North. One of the best divisions in football, right?
I wonder.
You got the Bears added to their offensive line. The Packers. Jeremiah's hovering over the ding button.
I'm just waiting. No, he's got to say it. He's got to say it.
Lions,
right? He will.
The Lions.
He's going to say that the Vikings are going to beat the Lions after they didn't do it this year. Go ahead.
What if I told you in the NFC North?
Say the Bears.
An already top 5 defense upgraded its personnel. An offense perennially on the fringes of the top 10 upgraded its offensive line while the Lions lost 2 coordinators. That's right. I'll take the Minnesota Vikings to win the NFC North.
That's a lot of 5s, Mackey. You're adding up real quick.
For what?
The homerism, dude. You're betting on a rookie quarterback going to lead you to winning that division. You just agreed with me.
Wait, I'm sorry. You just died on a hill for the who was it? Denver Broncos.
Here we go.
With a second year quarterback.
Hey, put me in the middle.
No,
put me in the middle.
no.
Put me in the middle.
With a year 2 quarterback in Bo Nix.
Okay, I feel you. Okay, he's going into year 2. That's
no. Boone will agree with me.
I called Broncos playoffs going into year 1. Bo Nix.
I know you did. I am so tired of the narrative of everyone like J.J. McCarthy's not a rookie. He was in the NFL for a year. He's a rookie.
He's a rookie.
And until you step on that field during a regular season game, you are a rookie as can be. And sure, you learned where to park and you learned where to go get your food and you learned all the ins and outs. Great. You still have to show you can do it on Sundays in the fall. And I'm not betting against the guy, but I'm not going to take him over Jared Goff and the Lions. I'm just not going to do it. Like, I just can't get that game out of my brain of week 18 last year. They took them to the woodshed. And yes, they changed some things up, but what did the Lions lose besides coordinators? Like, and I get it, coordinators are important, but the Jimmies and the Joes win the games. I am going to fight you on this. I still think the Lions are the team to beat in the NFC North.
Dude, I think the Vikings are going to have a hell of a time getting out of here. You still got the Packers. You talk about the Bears have just upgraded their entire offensive line. Like, dude, everybody in this division has just gotten seriously serious. And the Vikings are the only ones with a quarterback who has 0 experience in the NFL. And that's the one thing that we worry about is because you just don't know the growing pains. Like, it's easy to be like, oh, he's going to get it done. And it's another thing to be like, but what if he doesn't? Right? Like, what if all of a sudden that pressure becomes a little too high?
Sam Howell season, baby.
Here we go. Like, we don't know.
Hey,
and I'm not going to say that he's going to win the whole division when Jay's right. The Lions are in this division. Don't mind the Packers here. You talking like that. They're going to come for your head. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that are like, oh, you think we just suck and roll over? Okay, we see. Like, it's going to be fun, but I think the Lions win the division for sure.
Just back to the quarterback thing for a second. Last year, we had the Commanders are a great example. The Commanders with not one of the top 5 or 6 rosters in the league, but they brought in front office coach, some better infrastructure. Rookie quarterback gets to the playoffs, gets to the NFC Championship game. Bo Nix, all right, come on in here. We're not going to make you do everything. Good defense in Denver. Head coach who's Hall of Fame bound at some point will scheme this thing up. Like, You can trick it up so that the quarterback isn't doing
saying they
everything.
Don't make the playoffs. I'm not saying that. I think they're a wild card team through and through. I just don't think they rise to be kings of the North. I'm not shitting on the Vikings and being like, oh, they're going to be 8-9 or 9-8. Like, no, their defense is good. They've got enough weapons. I just don't see them being kings of the North with the rookie quarterback. And I hope I'm wrong. Again, I love the Vikings. I'm a fan. All that stuff. From a objective point of view, without my purple and yellow glasses on that Mackey wears, I think that the Lions are still the NFC North Kings.
Objectively, I am
Objectively.
I am not a homer. You heard me savage their starting
Lying.
quarterback for
the way.
5 consecutive years.
Yeah, now that
Kirk
he's
Cousins
gone, you
was
love
here.
him.
Sensitive.
Where is the
defensive.
Kirk haters?
Just a
Seriously.
day for Mackey right now.
You are wrecking him.
I'm gonna get my money's worth. Screw you guys.
Ultra.
Okay, wild card teams. All right, I do have the Lions.
Thank you.
As a wild card team. All right. I just they're still loaded roster wise, but to get to where they were 2 straight years and then get beat in that fashion and then lose the coordinators, it just feels like it's hard to just keep pushing the rock up the hill. I'm not saying that they're going to be back to being the old Lions, but right. I think they take a step back. And then I think the Green Bay Packers get in again too. They got to start beating the top teams in the NFC, but Jordan Love looks, when he's playing at his best, he looks like one of the 8 best quarterbacks in the league. But then he has these short circuit month and a half where he's turning the ball over. Matt LaFleur has proven that he can coach up a roster. So give me the Packers. And that leaves one final spot in the NFC. You guys are going to kill me for this.
Hold on.
Commanders are taking a step back.
Oh my God.
Commanders are taking a step back. The Carolina Panthers are going to make the playoffs at 9-8 in the NFC. Carolina Panthers.
All right, listen.
you
are clearly clickbaiting this. You are clearly clickbaiting
telling
this
you.
as far as you can go.
I'm telling you,
Did
that
you
team,
just say
that
the
was
Panthers?
a feisty Panthers team. They almost walked into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. Bryce Young, after sitting and getting the breather for 3 or 4 weeks, they're also going to play a pretty weak schedule. So there's always these crazy, like last year, the Commanders would have made no sense. The Broncos. There's always 2 of these teams, and I'm trying to find them. One of them's the Raiders. I think the Patriots might be in the mix, and I think the Panthers are a team to watch in 2020.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I think that they are second in that division behind Tampa. I do think they are second in that division behind Tampa. I'm going to nix the Green Bay and say that the Commanders make it.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels is way too talented. They've got Dan Quinn, who's done a phenomenal job. Yes, they lost some pieces, but I still think with him back there doing what he needs to do, I think the Commanders are still very much a team to contend with. I don't think they can beat Philly to become kings out there, but I think that the idea that 3 teams from the NFC North are going to make it again this year is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, the Panthers, by the way, part of this is schedule.
Yeah, their schedule is atrocious.
Their division sucks. They also play the AFC East, so they get the Patriots, they get the Jets, and then in the bonus NFC games, they get the Cardinals, they get let's see here, the Seahawks with Sam Darnold, who's competitive. They get the Jaguars on the AFC side of their schedule. So they don't have a ton of games where you say, oh yeah, they're screwed. Like they're going to play the Rams, they're going to lose that game. They're going to play the Packers at Lambeau, probably going to lose that game. The Cowboys at home,
Who knows?
Sorry.
Who knows? Yeah.
So a lot of this is schedule based, but I think it's like a 9-win season.
I don't hate that
And they
pick,
get in.
Mackey. I really don't.
I think you're both
I'm-
high.
I'm-
You think
I'm
they're
more-
going to beat Atlanta over this? You guys are both idiots.
Absolutely.
My-
Atlanta's
oh
a
my
disaster.
God.
Just got to find another
Mackey, you want to go with
250,000.
me on a? You want to go, Mackey? You want to go steak and a beer with me? That
Yes, I do.
Carolina is better than Tampa Bay or better than Atlanta this year.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Is
you'll
that the
take
bet, or
the
do you wanna
steak
do
and a
the
beer,
playoff
but you
one?
won't take the other one with Denver?
No.
Shows you
That's
how
a totally.
serious
I'm
you
not
are.
betting that they're making the playoffs. I'm saying strictly they're going to be a better record than the Atlanta Falcons.
So your steak and a beer is specifically Panthers v Falcons.
Yes,
overall
it is.
record.
It is
Oh,
Panthers
game on.
v Falcons
Game on.
overall record.
Game on.
I think the Panthers end with a better record.
How about this?
Oh, I do too. So
Thank
Booney's
you.
against us.
Booney's against us.
So
2v1.
you guys think that they're going to finish at least second or third?
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying second.
They're
behind
gonna
the-
finish
behind the
second.
Buccaneers.
Oh, you're going to say second?
well, I don't. I think
They're a
that
wild card team. I got them as
They're a
well.
wild card
Okay,
team. They're
okay.
going to have to finish second in order to make
Okay.
it.
Let's do it. You guys have them finishing second
Yep.
in the NFC South.
I'm adding it to the steak and a beer board here.
Go
Are you,
right
you
now.
think you think the
There's a
Saints? You think
backlog, by
the
the
Saints
way.
and Falcons are better than them?
I think the Falcons would push them a little bit. Yes, I do. I think once they figure themselves out with this Michael Penix problem, I think it's going to be a lot better than what's going on down in the Panthers. But we'll see.
We'll see.
We shall see.
So there it is. Okay, so NFC, to recap here, we're going by we, I mean me, specifically Eagles, Vikings, Bucks, Rams, division winners, and then Lions, Packers, Panthers as the wild card teams. And I'm taking the Commanders out of the equation for a year. A little sophomore step back for Jaden Daniels. The league kind of catches up to them a little bit, and then they push forward in year 3.
How are you going to put 3 NFC North teams? God, you ding him again,
Well,
please.
they did last year.
Well, no, it's going to happen every
And
year
the
now.
year before that? No. Vikings missed it the year before that.
No, Vikings to make it. Yeah, no.
Such a
mean,
fucking
so
lie.
I agree with your AFC, but I think I'm going to go Philly, Bucks, Rams, Lions, Vikings, Commanders, Panthers.
What we can do is all of us can own one of these, maybe like once a month. So the beginning of next month, Jay, you can do your version of this.
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
here
think
for
about it. And then Alex, once we get closer to training camp, and then you can have your own
Yeah,
little space.
once the schedule comes out too, you'll be able to pick kind of like
Let's go.
prime
Yeah.
time
Right now.
prime time game.
Then you'll know.
Yeah, come on, let's go
All
right now.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
All right. Okay. Okay. Last week we clowned the idea of grading a draft 48 hours after it's complete, or even 24 hours. So you should at least give teams 3 years of did this player pan out. So what Jeremiah has done is he's gone back to the 2022 draft, and you have redrafted the first round, the 15 best players.
I added to the 2 guys we talked about beforehand. I found.
Oh,
a spot.
so you
I found a
succumbed
spot
to
Okay,
our-
good,
our
I found a
hazing
spot to
and-
add those 2. Just
That's
those
fair.
2. Just
Okay.
those 2.
That's fair.
Okay.
So
And those, yeah, okay, I won't spoil it, but
Yes.
yeah, one of
I
them
had-
was like the last pick in the draft.
Yeah.
So
But
it
I didn't
might
have
be
the
the first overall.
I did not
pick,
go through all 257 picks.
That's
I'll
fine.
just be very honest about that.
And you're redrafting based on how good the player is, not necessarily the need for the team.
Correct.
In
I'm,
retrospect, or whatever.
I'm basing this off production since 2022. Not, I mean, and again, it was all need based at that time, but I'm going to go off production. So I have it listed here of like who they took and who I think they should have taken. All right, you with me? Everyone
Oh,
tracking?
that's great. Yeah.
All right. So number 1 overall was the Jaguars. They took Trayvon Walker out of Georgia. I think they should have taken Aiden Hutchinson.
Sure.
Number 1 overall Trayvon's been productive, but he has not been Aiden Hutchinson, right? So Aiden Hutchinson goes 1-1. The Lions took Aiden Hutchinson. I think the Lions should have taken Sauce Gardner. Right? You take Sauce Gardner at 2 as the cornerback. That's been a tough position for them. Sauce has been locked down since he walked into the league.
Sure.
I think 3, Texans took Derek Stingley. I think that's a good pick. I leave Stingley at 3. I mean, he's been one of the better corners in the league since he got in the league as well.
He just got paid too, right?
Yep. Number 4, you had the Jets taking Sauce Gardner. I have at 4 the Jets taking Brock Purdy. I have at 4 the Jets taking Brock Purdy.
Wow.
And that moment and getting their franchise quarterback.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, think about the production he's had since he's come.
Oh
in the
yeah.
league.
Oh
He
yeah.
is
For
worthy
sure.
with what he's done as far as started, where he's led his team. He's worthy of a top 5 pick. I mean, if you would say, hey, Brock Purdy's going to come in, start for you as a rookie, and he's going to lead you and your team to multiple NFC Championship appearances, why wouldn't you draft someone like that in the top 5?
Yeah, and yeah, the fact that he's been a multi-year top 10-ish
Yes.
quarterback helps to have that roster.
Yeah.
That would be that's considered one of the most successful things you can do in the draft is draft a top 10 quarterback, right?
So I'm taking Brock Purdy there.
What would be just so he would have been the first quarterback off the
Yes.
board, and was that was the Pickett year, right? That was
the
kind of a
the
weak.
first quarterback
Yeah.
taken that year was 20 at Kenny Pickett.
Okay,
So that
And
was
there
a
were-
weird quarterback class that year.
but they were like at the time, if I remember, the Texans needed a quarterback at 3, and they passed right for Stingley.
Yep.
The Jets always need a quarterback. I
That's
think
right.
that was the year after they took what's his name, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, right? So I think you take Brock Purdy. You take Brock Purdy at 4 there. Okay, so at 5, the Giants take DN Kayvon Thibodeau. I think at 5 they should have taken O-line Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, who went down to, he's going to be an all-pro guard in Dallas. Like, he is on track to be the next Tyron Smith, the next Zach Martin. I mean, his production at both left tackle and left guard has been off the charts, right? And the Giants could have really used a guy like that in their room, right? At 6, the Carolina Panthers took Ike Ngakoue, the offensive tackle. I have them taking Jordan Davis, the defensive lineman out of Georgia at the time, who's been in Philly and has just been a force. Yeah. I mean, rushing the passer, blogging up the middle. He's been as good as an interior D lineman as it comes there. At 7, the Giants took O-tackle Evan Neal. Didn't work out great. I have them taking Trayvon Walker there at 7. Right, he did have kind of a down first year. 2 years ago, he had a Pro Bowl year, I believe, multi-double-digit sacks. So I have him taking Trayvon Walker there at 7. At 8, the Atlanta Falcons took Drake London.
Ooh.
I have them taking Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson's a tad bit more productive than Drake London has been, even with the quarterback rotation in the Jets. Right, so then at number 9. Seattle took Charles Cross. I have them taking Kyle Hamilton.
Oh, safety.
Tell me he's not been one of the top tier safeties in the NFL.
Absolutely.
He is everywhere. He can cover. He
loves
can
blitz,
to hit. He can mitt in the box. He's been a top 5 safety since he stepped on the field.
It's the Cam Chancellor mold. Yeah.
Right, and he fits well up there with the Legion of Boone, right? So then I have Kyle Hamilton there. Mm-hmm. So at 10, the Garrett Wilson went to the Jets originally. I have them taking Tyler Linderbaum at number 10. I know that he's a center and top 10 picks go, but this dude's been a Pro Bowler multiple years, right? The Ravens didn't pick his 5th-year option.
Which is so, don't even.
It would have made him $24 million when the top center just
5 over
17, right? So that just doesn't make sense. He will get paid. He'll probably be an $18 million a year guy, maybe 19. They'll push that number up, right? But I think you take Tyler Linderbaum there because Linderbaum based off of production. You go 11, the Saints took Chris Olave. Unfortunately, I don't have him. I think I still have him in here. But I have them taking Charles Cross, who went at 9 overall to Seattle. They've had some tackle issues down there, back and forth. They ended up taking Trevor Penning later in the first round in this draft. That didn't work out. So I think they take Charles Cross there. At 12, the Lions took Jameson Williams. He didn't make it in because he missed his first 2 years. I have them taking Trent McDuffie. Another corner, right? So 2 corners to the Lions there that were been 2 of the best corners in the NFL for a long time. At 13, the Eagles took Jordan Davis. I have the Eagles taking Olave here, right? I think that the only other thing here is you might be able to say instead of Olave, Puka Nacua.
He was the next year. That's my bad.
The next year.
But right before we started, I gave you misinformation. He was the next year.
He was that year. I didn't think he was that year. Okay, so they take Olave, right? So I think they take Olave there, goes up there and pairs him up. At 14, the Ravens took Kyle Hamilton. I have them taking George Karlaftis.
Ooh,
right. George Karlaftis might be a bit of a stretch, but he's been extremely productive. Disruptive, sacks, everything to it there. And then at 15, they took Kenyon Green. The Texans took Kenyon Green as a first-round guard, which didn't work out great. And then I have them taking Zion Johnson, who's been a everyday starter for the Chargers since then. So that's the top 15 redraft that I would have. Some other names that were drafted in the first round this year that were swings and misses. Treylon Burks to the Titans. Went 18th overall that year. I don't think he's ever scored a touchdown in the NFL, if I'm being honest.
Receiver, right?
Yeah, receiver out of Arkansas.
Yep.
Right. Kyer Elam was a first rounder for the Bills that year. He got beat out by Bradford or something, a 5th-round cornerback that year. He never really panned out. They just traded him away. Right. Cole Strange to the Pats. He's been a solid starter.
Declined his 5th year, didn't they?
They just declined his 5th year. Right. Jahan Dotson to the Commanders. He's been so not great on them too, right? And then Trevor Penning went 19 to the Saints. Devin Lloyd, a linebacker to the Jags. I don't know. He might have been a Pro Bowler and I don't know it, but I don't recognize that name as a guy that jumps off the page to me, right? And then Devin Wyatt for Green Bay late in the draft was a defensive lineman too, who I don't think they picked his 5th year up as well.
The only let me just, because I know you didn't comb through 262 picks and do the film breakdowns of all these guys, but I'm going to throw a few other non-first rounders. You tell me, would this person, and I'll give you a handful of them, bump someone from your top 15?
Okay.
James Cook.
Running back.
Buffalo running back.
No.
I don't think so.
He'd be a first rounder though. He wouldn't go 63rd.
No, he wouldn't. First
so?
round running back, Ashton Genty is a first round running back. You have to be dazzling to be taken in the first round at running back. It's a position that they've tried to kill, dude.
He split time at Georgia too.
Bro, you're not going in the first round unless you're
I don't
insane.
think James goes in the first round.
George Pickens.
No.
He was the 52nd overall pick.
Didn't he have problems?
He had first round talent, but I mean the problems you're seeing in the NFL.
Yeah, didn't he have issues coming out?
The same issues that he had in college.
I think, I mean, if you were to just purely rank, I'd fight for James Cook just because there's probably eight guys in the first round that would be out based on being a bust.
No, we know that. It's just I don't think they
think
want to pick up a running back in the first round. They're like, hey, he'll be there in the second, so we'll pick him.
Yeah.
Because to your point, Mackey, when Ashton Genty got picked, what was that?
He's the highest paid running back.
Sixth,
now.
He's the second highest paid running back in the NFL.
That's why they're all like,
because of his slot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of his
That's why they're all
slot.
like, shit, dude, we're paying this bit a fortune.
The second highest paid running back in the NFL. You don't
Take him
wanna
in the
do
second.
that. That's a big cap hit when you can go find guys in the second and third.
So, and it's nowhere near Saquon money. So Saquon's making like triple what
20, like
or double
22.
what the next guy. It's crazy. Okay, Kirby Joseph was a late third round pick.
He's been really
Hunting
good,
kneecaps,
too.
bringing Dan Campbell's mantra to life.
I'd say he could
goes in
jump into the first
He
for
goes
sure.
into the
I don't know
first.
that if he goes in the top 15, but he's been a killer since he's been in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kyer Elam goes in the first. You probably take him over Kyer Elam.
What about, here's a couple more fun ones. Trey McBride, tight end, Arizona.
Oh, yeah, he goes in the first.
I think if you're the Rams,
goes
you
in the
probably
first.
take him in the first. Yeah.
Pass catching tight end. Yeah.
Yeah, it took him a while to get his first touchdown, but
Yeah.
it worked.
Like 17 weeks.
Yeah.
And then he became the highest paid tight end for like 2 weeks. And then George Kittle said, "Hold my beer."
Hold my beer.
I'm
What?
gonna chug this one. You hold the other one, actually.
What? Yeah,
And then
exactly.
two other running backs. I think I know your answer. These guys were kind of early second round picks. Brees Hall and Kenneth Walker the third.
Love
Second
both
round-
of them.
Second round's a great spot
Second
for
rounders
both
all the
those
day.
guys.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, there might. Oh, Duron Bland with all the. He was a fifth round pick with all the interceptions a couple years ago. Was it?
That's right. When he had he broke the record.
Yeah, but he's
for
only
pick
had one
sixes,
good.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's only had
He was
one
six
good
hurt.
rounds,
I think he
right?
broke his foot. I think he broke his foot and missed like all of last year.
Yeah. Isaiah Pacheco was a seventh round pick in this
not
draft.
ours.
Crazy
Not
for
ours,
Sean
no.
Watson.
No.
But yeah, so your redraft has Aiden Hutchinson as the number one
That's
pick.
1-1. I think.
Sauce Gardner
Oh, yeah.
1-2, and then the biggest mover is Brock Purdy from Mr. Irrelevant to a fourth overall pick.
Yeah. And then I have 21st overall pick McDuffie, 24th overall Tyler Smith, 30th overall George Karlaftis jumping up into the top 15.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Purdy is if we did this revisionist history and said, well, he should have been the fourth overall pick. Well, guess what? If he gets drafted by the Jets, he's not
probably
getting.
not
We're
Brock
not
Purdy.
discussing a $50 million a year contract extension, right?
Which is why
Well,
the
we don't
draft
know.
is always wild. It's always wild. You never know where the pieces fall into the great spot. But, the other thing that I noticed here is a lot of pretty much every O-lineman besides Trevor Penning worked out in this first round. Right? Charles Cross has been a multi-year starter when he can stay healthy. Tyler Smith was a slam dunk. Tyler Lindenbaum was a slam dunk. Cole Strange has been productive. I don't think he's been a Pro Bowler, which was kind of the bar that you set when you're a first rounder. But he started every single year day one, right? So it's hard for me to say that he doesn't make this list either with just production value.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
a little O-line friendly here, but I think all those guys have been fantastic, and they're going to all make a bunch of money going into this next year.
Good exercise. I think this will be we can do this during the offseason. Let's go back to 2021. We'll go back to 2020.
Let's go.
2023 might be a little soon after just 2 years.
Little soon.
But let's go back. And if you guys have suggestions for off-season content too, let us know if there's fun things you want us to rank or do, if there's meet in the A-gap suggestions. By the way, meet in the A-gap suggestion here. Football. Moving into our next segment.
Let's go.
Uncle Snotty. And if you haven't already too, if you've made it this far, click that like button and the subscribe button on the O-Line Committee YouTube channel. And if you could on Apple and Spotify too, give us a 5-star rating and a positive review as we look to keep growing this thing. We're looking to hit 50,000 YouTube subscribers by the end of the football season.
Yes.
By the end of the 2025 season.
Let's go.
Be an awesome goal.
Let's do it.
So, meeting in the A-gap. This is from Uncle Snotty on YouTube. reacting to Jeremiah, the viral video of Jeremiah out chugging a Packers fan in a beer drinking contest at the Purple Daily Draft Party. So he says, throwing it back to Jay's younger days, meeting in the A-gap, Edward 40 hands or a beer bong funnel?
Beer bong. Beer bong.
Beer
all the
bong?
way. Dude, the Edward 40 hands thing, I did it a couple times, but like the beer gets so warm. Like, and then you can't.
You're
use
playing the
your
game
hands.
all wrong, bro. You're playing the game all wrong. I tell you.
You're a 40 hands guy?
Dude, I'm an everything type of guy. When it comes to beer,
Oh, my God.
I rewrote all the rules, boys. I could beer bong anything faster. I used to chug 6 beers in a blender faster than someone could drink one.
A blender?
Yeah, I used to go to houses and pour beers in blenders and just
That
chug
was your
all.
party chick?
I used to go to the bar and drink pitchers faster than people could drink it out of a glass. Like,
Oh, my God.
God, I used to have so much fun. So much fun.
Too much fun.
So much fun that it actually got me in a
Too
lot
much
of trouble. A lot of fucking trouble.
How many at your? I mean, because Alex, your career was impacted by drinking.
Clearly.
So if I'm being insensitive, let me know.
No.
At your guys' drinking peak, how many cans of beer did it take you to feel fairly drunk at 300 whatever pounds?
At my drinking peak, probably junior, senior year in college. I mean, we would pregame with the 30 rack.
Easy.
Yeah, I mean,
Easy.
you get a 30 rack, like personal 30s. Right, like
Wait,
everyone would
you
show
would
up with a
drink
30 rack
30
of Busch
beer.
Light,
Yep.
and you kind of start at like 2 in the afternoon, and then once
And you
the
just
30,
go, dude.
and once the 30 racks were gone at like 9, 10 p.m., then you went to the bar.
I did a case race.
That's just kind of how the days would go.
We had a beer Olympics, and I did a case race against a team, and I won. And I mean,
a
dude,
team?
yes.
How many on their team?
I mean, there was like 4 people on a team. Like you were allowed to go, dude. I'm not kidding. I think one night I drank 48 beers.
We
And
used
it
to
was
call
amazing.
the backyard behind one of our O-line buddies' houses. We used to call it the lake. Wasn't the lake, right? Like it was,
There
just,
was no
it
lake.
was just a backyard. So we'd all like get done with workouts and be like, to the lake day, and we'd all just show up with lawn chairs. And the house was right next to the track girl's house, and so like we would drink and then crumble up the cans and just toss them up onto the track girl's patio because they would always be out. They'd always be out like track meets in the spring, and then they'd come home and they just shovel off like just 100
Tons of
beer
beer.
cans, just pushing them all off their deck.
Get the snowplow out to.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, a 30 rack, like picking a 30 rack up on your way home from a Friday winter conditioning workout was not out of the norm.
No.
Boy, that is.
Bush lattes, baby.
Dude.
Blue yummies.
Bud
Blue
Light.
yummies.
Fuck that. Bud Light was the best.
You guys ever hear the old like Andre the Giant stories?
Oh, yeah.
He
Oh,
would,
yeah.
100
like
beers.
I saw his
100
hand over a
beers in
beer
the
the other
suit.
day.
Yeah,
Like it was ridiculous.
it's
Like, look,
just
I mean, they
gone.
can.
Yeah, it looked like one
And
of
you
those little
think-
Coke cans.
That was us.
a tiny short king like myself with the 5'8". A beer is like, if I drink a couple beers, old Macadac's gonna feel the buzz. Andre the Giant would pick up a beer can like it's a shot glass.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard he drank a keg once. Like a whole keg. Like I'm sure it was fucking
with
true.
one hand grabbing the keg. Like
Yeah.
it was.
Just picked it up like a chalice.
There was nothing like being able to get that drunk. Like you just used to drink and just have a blast, and people would just be like, "Dude, fucking, we beat the shit out of him." Be like, "Yeah, we did. Give me another one." Like you would just, it was amazing, so fun.
Wow.
And now I have
30.
like 4 IPAs and I want to die. The next morning I wake up, I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Oh yeah.
God, we used to wake up and go back into conditioning. We're psychos.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
next one. This is. I'm just curious on this one. I'm assuming that your favorite of the 4 seasons, fall is probably your favorite because it's football season. Or I guess I'll ask it this way: we got some nice 75, 80-degree weather here in the beautiful Twin Cities where Alex and I are. Jay's in Lincoln, Nebraska. So, meeting in the A gap, fall, summer, winter, spring, for you guys.
Summer.
Fall.
Summer.
You go first, Booney. Tell me why summer.
Summer. I love to be tan. I love to be outside without a shirt on. I love to work. I love to mulch. I love to mow. I love to go outside and go fishing, swimming. I love to mess with the kids. Softball, baseball. Let's go. I'm outside all day.
It's too damn hot, dude.
Dude,
Summer-
if I wasn't on this, I'd be outside right now.
I love the summer. Don't get me wrong, but the summers here can be
No, you don't. You're a hater.
they can be tough. Right? I mean, 95, 90% humidity, 30-mile-an-hour winds. Like you're walking into an oven outside.
Tornadoes.
I will say,
you're in like tornado.
yeah, I
alley
mean,
over there, too.
bad storms, but I do love golf season. Right, golf in the summer is fantastic. Getting out there, having a beer with the boys as you're hitting 18. But
having
fall,
having 30 bush lights on the golf course.
No more of that. But fall for me, not just because of football, but hunting season.
Ooh.
Right, when you start feeling that cool, crisp air start hitting in September, like I know duck season, goose season, deer season, elk season, pheasant, like it's all just coming, and that's my favorite thing to do in the world is to hunt. So fall for me is going to always take the cake because I know I've got my elk hunting bow trip coming up in Colorado. Early teal starts September 1. You've got big duck, big goose. Like deer season is bow season in Nebraska is September 1 through December 31st. So you can go out and bow hunt pretty much whenever. And then you get your 1 week of rifle in there. So yeah, the fall takes the cake for me.
All right, hillbilly, chill out. All right.
Listen, I like to shoot things.
I love shooting things, killing things. It's great. I love it.
Great
It's
time.
Can't wait. We need to let's replace
pew
the
in.
Panther's helmet with like an actual Panther's head behind
Right.
you. That's what.
Jesus Christ,
I
Phil,
see some
chill
I
out.
see some taxidermy.
You guys
back
want to do a
there.
live show? Come to the Duck Blind at 4 a.m. I'll put your short ass in waders, Mackie, and make you
don't
go out
tease
and
me.
throw some decoys in pitch black with a headlamp on.
I'll be
I
the
will
decoy.
throw-
Actually.
when
Just throw me
it's
in there.
13 degrees outside and you're in hip deep water.
No.
You know what? I'm
Nope.
coming this year. That's bullshit.
Do
That
it.
sounds amazing. 4 a.m.
I've
throwing
told you to
decoys.
come.
I am so there.
Come on out.
I'm good on the 4 a.m. thing. I think
You are
I don't
such a
know,
pussy, Mackie. You're not having fun unless the rest of the world's sleeping. That's when you can have the
Yeah.
most fun. You
Hey.
can't do
No,
it
no,
when
no.
they're all
I mean,
watching
no,
you.
no, no. I mean, like I'm good. Like I love I'm a 5 a.m.
Is it the cold? Is it the cold sitting outside in the freezing?
Yeah, like where
cold?
we like what if nothing? Like what if you don't
And when
see a
it's just
deer?
3 guys
It
sitting
happens.
there, bro.
It
It's 3 guys
happens.
chilling.
Fellowship. Get
Yeah,
to see a
fuck.
sunrise.
Okay.
How many sunrises you get to see in your life, Mac? You never
Seriously,
know.
Mac.
Every day.
You're gonna sleep through all of
Oh,
them.
you mean like in the future? I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
You don't know. You don't know how many sunrises left in your future. I've had plenty of days where some of my favorite hunting we didn't see a damn bird, but you had just a great time with the boys. Listen,
See?
That's fair.
it's a great time.
I'm in.
That's fair. That's fair. Before we get to some dumb football questions, it's time for Jeremiah's F1 racing minute here, boys. That's right.
We're not on another bye week.
Oh, nice.
That's right. I found the official. Apparently, it's 5 beeps.
Yes.
There's no
five
like
lights, and then the lights go out, and that means go.
yeah. So there's no like final beep. It's just the 5 beeps
Dun.
and then you go.
Dun,
Yep.
dun, dun.
So if you're ready, I'll put 60 seconds on
I'm
the
ready.
clock here.
Oh, am I ever?
This is the segment that we thought was going to last 1 week as a joke, but
Never.
enough of you love F1 racing, apparently, that Jeremiah gets a minute every week to
60
talk about
seconds,
one of his
baby.
favorite sports. So, okay, 60 seconds on the clock in 5 seconds.
All right, it was lights out and away we went in Miami this week. Justin Jefferson made an appearance talking to Oscar Piastri, talking about how if he won, he had to do the gritty. Watching some tiny little man from Eastern Europe do the gritty was hilarious. However, qualifying happens. Max Verstappen takes pole position yet again, showing that he is the best driver on the grid with probably the third best car. Following behind him, you had Oscar Piastri with Lando Norris there as well, rocking through. Unfortunately, that did not end well for Max Verstappen. Max starts the race off, has an issue in the first corner. Oscar Piastri ends up pulling away. Lando Norris fights Max for a little bit. He pulls away. George Russell takes a great time with the safety car that came out, ended up getting out in front of Max. Max just didn't have the pace to get through. He ends up in 4th. Great weekend for Williams, right? Williams Racing, Alex Albon, Carlos Sainz, both finishing in the top 10, getting great points. Another fantastic week of F1 down in Florida.
Wow, look at that. That's your F1 minute with Jeremiah Sirles. Alex, what are your thoughts?
God, that was Max Verstappen. Whatever he did. Get rid of him.
Max is great.
We need a follow-up minute every week where Alex tries to react and decipher what Jeremiah just said.
Yeah.
Or
Liam
me.
Lawson.
I have no idea.
You got Carlos Sainz. Isaac Hadger.
Sounds
Oh,
horrible.
Isaac Hadger, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isaac,
yeah, for
for
sure.
Racing Bulls. He had a puncture early in the race, ruined the whole
Oh, yeah.
thing.
It's crazy.
Like a tire or like a lung? What
Tire.
kinda-
Tire.
No.
Okay.
Oh, you just said lung. I'd have been like, all right, I'm interested now. That's just a tire, a bunch of rubber. All right.
Yeah, try driving with a punctured lung.
Yeah.
See what happens.
There you go. That's your F1
All right,
minute.
there's your F1 minute right there. Formula One in the house. Okay, boys, time for some dumb football questions.
Hit me.
And you guys have sent some. You guys have been on your A game. I feel like the audience sending in a big batch. We got we're stacked up for the off season here. So we'll start with Bill Jones 3077 in the YouTube comments. Some athletes have pregame rituals and superstitions. Did either Jeremiah or Alex have any pregame rituals or superstitions? Any stories of weird or unique pregame rituals from teammates?
I don't know if it was necessarily a ritual, but I had a routine. Right? I had very much a routine based, and if I got outside of my routine, I was pretty much toast the rest of the day. Right? Like it's very much you knew exactly, hey, I'm going to show up to the facility or to the stadium 3.5 hours before kickoff. Right? I'm going to have a cup of coffee. I'm going to kind of regroup. I'm going to go sit outside. I'm going to go take a lap. Right? I would go take a lap. I'd go sit on the bench. I'd come back in. I'd change. I'd go back out. I'd do a warm-up. Right? I had my own little warm-up that I put myself through. I'd sit on the bench again. I'd come back in. And at the 90-minute clock, I was ready to get dressed. Right? Start getting dressed at the 90-minute clock. Meanwhile, while this is happening, I had the 2014 Marshmallow EDC set on in my headphones to where I could have it timed out by where he was in the set, by where I should be getting ready, right? And this was all of like 2016, 2017, like for 3 years straight. It was the exact same Marshmallow set from 2014 EDC that I would listen to as I'd get through, and as the set would come to a close, everything would be taped, ready to go, roll out, pre-workout, and away we go, right? Like, and I had all of it down to, it was like a science, right? Like, hey, I know what I'm taping, this finger, that finger. Like, you just had everything in order.
Is this like when you line up Pink Floyd's The Wall with The Wizard of Oz or something?
Yes.
You get high?
Yes.
Like you had,
Exactly
like,
what
I
it is.
literally had it exactly timed out to where, like, okay, I hear this part in the set, I should be in this part of my warm-up. I hear this part of my set, I should be getting my ankles taped, right? Like, it was really good for me to have. It was like an 1.5 hour long set that just had me going of exactly where I needed to be, and it always ended right when we needed to go out on the field.
I was the same way. I had the same routine as Jay did, was in and out, would never do anything. If I didn't do it the first time, I never did it the entire time. I mean, it's weird how, like, if you don't do it, you never will. And it's like, I don't want to because I don't want to ruin something. Down to the point that, like, I always tape my left hand before I tape my right hand. Like, I never switched it. I always tape my thumb first. Like, for whatever reason, if I didn't like the tape job, I had to take it off and redo it. Like, so many weird things. But I think everybody has superstitions in the locker room. There were some guys that would bring food and eat it at halftime. Like, there was guys that like, I need steak. And I need to eat this certain steak at halftime. I'd be like, that's fucking crazy. There was some guys, and I'm not going to name any names, but there was guys that would do crazy things. Like, I saw guys take shots of tequila before every game. I saw guys take pumps of Coke before games. I saw guys take edibles before games. Like, you see a lot of things, and the guys will look at you and they'll be like, need it. Need it. You'd be like, whatever you need, man. Whatever the fuck you need. Whatever makes you happy. I mean, everybody has a tradition or a routine in the NFL, which is funny because once you catch on to someone's, you can kind of fuck with them and it pisses them off. But it sucks when someone fucks with you because you're like, stop it. I'm not in the mood. Today's not the day. Like, linemen are very finicky about their routines.
Yeah, the worst is when you'd be like coming off the field and like the assistant line coach would be like, hey, let's hit the mitts real quick. And you'd be like, no. Like, it's not, but then you don't want to be like, and then you do it and you're like, oh, now I'm behind. Now I got to feel hurt. Because I don't know about Alex feels this, but the number one feeling that I hate is being rushed. Right? Like being rushed. I still have nightmares about I get to the stadium late. I can't find my pants. I run out of the tunnel in jeans. Like I'm just not ready. And like I wake up in a cold sweat, dry mouth. Like that is still my nightmare of I just am rushed. They're like, Sirles, 5 minutes, we got to go. And I have nothing on. Like those type of nightmares still
my heart
haunt
dropped.
me. Like
Oh my
haunt me
God.
to this day.
5 minutes and nothing on. Oh.
Like I can't do it.
Dude, I had the same person put my shoulder pads on, taped my shoulder pads, pulled my jersey down. The same person every week had to do it. We always did the same thing, man. We always said the same thing to each other. It's wild how we're weird like that, but you cannot stray from the norm.
What percentage, like pregame, you talk about you got your headphones on, you go out, do your thing, sit on the bench, walk around, then the 90-minute mark, go put your pads on, start getting dressed. But of the 2 hours or so that you're at the stadium beforehand,
3.
what percentage of that 3 hours, what percentage of that is like meeting, a pregame meeting, or then you're out on the field doing team stuff?
None.
All the meetings are done.
It's all on you.
Unless it's a night game. If it's a night game, you'll meet in the mornings. Right, you'll meet in the morning because you won't leave for the stadium until like 4. Right?
So when you're in the locker room before a game, the head coach isn't bringing everyone together for like
right at the last
there's no talking.
chalkboard talk.
No, there's no talking. And honestly,
everybody up at like 8 minutes. Like
I think,
8 minutes, everyone up because we have to be coming out of the tunnel at 6 minutes or 5 minutes
Right.
or whatever it is. Like that's it. And it's usually just play hard, play fast, love your buddy, and go kick ass.
Move
right?
on.
It's very not many.
The groups are kind of
speakings.
You can tell the groups by who's on the bus. Like the first group, the group that gets there at 3 hours, that's mostly the starters. And they're going to be the guys that want to get very comfortable. Some of the guys are going to want to get in the hot tub. Some of the guys are going to want to go out in the field and do stuff. Like Jay and I always went on the field and did stuff. You want to be super chill. And then I always looked over my playbook, always watch film. Like you always sit in your locker and kind of mind to yourself. There's not very loud. If you're going to be loud, you need to go in the training room. Like the locker room's super chill. It's quiet. Guys can talk and laugh, but you're not going to be loud. We're like, if you can hear me 4 lockers down, someone's going to be like, hey, man, shut the fuck up. You're going to be like, all right, my bad, dude. I'm gonna go over here. I'm going to go in the – some dudes used to go like in the training room and laugh and joke around, drink coffee, and then they'd come out and get serious and stuff like that. But the second bus is like the one that gets there the last second, and that's all the young guys, all the specialists. Like actually, the specialists get there like 6 hours before the game. They're actually one of the first ones there. Starters are the second, and then the young guys come last where they come in. They're like, what's up, motherfucker? You're like, shh. First couple weeks, like you have to remind them, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
It's game day.
This is our temple. Shut up. You want to do that? You go the fuck out there and be like the weirdos, okay? But it's great because like the minute that you like, it's funny because I just think of Les Pico, and I'm thinking of Les Pico because he called me the other day. I saw him driving, and I love Les. He's the player director for the Vikings. We talk all the time. He's such a great dude, but he used to walk around and like he knew not to talk, so he'd walk around and be like, and you'd be like, all right. But he always knew, come get me when there's 3. He'd be like, you're like, come get me when there's 3. And he'd come up to you and he'd be like, 3. And you'd be like, all right, here we go. Last song. Boom. You hit your last song with 3 minutes left. And that's when all of a sudden the locker room starts getting really hot and everyone starts like grabbing walls and punching shit. And then Les comes over and he's like, and you're like,
1 minute.
Everyone's getting crazy. And then all of a sudden he'll be like, bring it up, man. This is it. This is it, man. And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking shit my pants. Let's go. Like, it's insane, dude.
It's wild. You're unleashing.
That's when the bladder starts going, you should have peed again.
I got to pee. I got to pee. And I'm like, there's times where I've challenged myself. I dare you to do it. Do it then. Do it right now.
Isn't that how Mark Schlereth got his nickname Stink? That he like pissed himself as the starting center.
Stinks the man.
Dude. I know Josh Allen pukes before every game.
It's all right.
He did that as a rookie, and then I think he's just carried it on. Like he just makes himself vomit, and then he's like, "Oh, now I'm time to go."
Yeah. Now I feel good.
How you mentioned eating steak at halftime? How many guys eat something at halftime?
I think, most of the guys eat a little snack, right? Like oranges or like a Uncrustable. Eric Pears used to bring a whole meal. And I used to be like, on the bus, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck is that? He'd be like, gotta get that meat in. And I'd be like, what is it? And halftime, he'd open it up. It'd be like a filet, a potato, broccoli. I'd be like, this guy's a serial killer. I can barely eat anything. Oh, dude, he's over here like, guys, what are we doing? Talk to me. What's plan? I'm like, dude,
this guy's sliding left.
He's eating a fucking rare steak.
The thing that always freaked me out is it's always the receivers and the DBs. We would come in from pre-draft warm-up, right? Like pre-game warm-up, like where everyone's out on the field, and we always go in with like 19 minutes left so they can do the anthem and all the pre-game shenanigans. There'd be dudes that would come in and get fully undressed and go take a shower.
Oh,
I mean, fully like they would go take a shower, and then all of a sudden, like they're just scrambling to get clothes on, and my heart's just like shaking for them,
freaking out.
And they're like, "Come on, let's go!" And he's like, "Hold on, I gotta get my cleats tied." And you're like, "This was so preventable. Like you didn't have to do this. What? No. Why would you?
Why
do
are
this
you
to yourself?
showering?
Like, why are you doing this?" But again, everyone's pre-games are a little bit different.
Dude, some guys didn't care. I had to be. Dude, you know how it was. You have to crack enough of them before you walk out there. You have to smell just enough ammonia packets. And then all of a sudden, the best was before we go out there, Tony'd be like, crack one. He'd be like, Tony, smell that. And he'd be like, what's wrong with you, motherfuckers? Fucking love that guy. Shit.
Adam Borkowski, 982, wants to know. And this, I think this is, you guys have some probably great insight on this one. When you guys retire, do you get hobby jobs or new full-time jobs, or do you kind of just do what you want with your hobbies and all that? I mean, I know you guys have your own experiences. Maybe you can answer for yourselves and then broaden it out to other players you play with.
No, this is a great question because I remember when I first got into the league, everybody was telling me like the goal is to make enough money to never do anything again, Booney. And I remember all the time like you'd be sitting in at breakfast or lunch and you'd be watching all the guys at the desk on TV at like ESPN or whatever, and all the older guys be like, see that fucking guy? Don't be that guy, okay? That guy's a loser. That guy's broke, right? And the problem is they're not. They're just bored.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is. And you're right. You can call it a hobby job. You can call it whatever you want. We put in so many yeses while everyone else said no that now it can be a hobby job where it's like, yeah, I go to work when I want to. I mess around. We went to work today, trained 5 dudes. We had a great time. Tomorrow will be the last day of the year before summer. And then after that, we just chill. And a lot of it is because like what we do now. We're bored. We love talking about football. It's great to come on here and talk ball and be serious and have a good time. And it's like, it's what we enjoy doing. It's the same thing with the gym. I enjoy training those dudes. It's not like I look at it and go, God, got to get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow and go to work. I'm like, God, I can't wait to get in there. Like Fridays, I cannot wait to get on the road at 4:30 and be the only one on the road. Cause I'm like, dude, we're going to go meet 10 offensive linemen and we're going to throw med balls at each other's faces and we're going to listen to EDM all morning. And then we're going to go eat fucking pancakes. Like it's the greatest thing you could ever do. And honestly, a lot of my kids are like Johnny will ask me, he'll be like, Dad, you ever just want to stop? And you're like, no, I can't. Like at one point, I think that was the goal, right? Like you get to 30 and you're like, I'm done. I'm never going to do another thing. And then you sit there for a couple of days and you're like, okay, I can't do this. I can't sit here and do nothing. Like I just think of all my coaches, like, what are you sitting on your ass for, you fucking idiot? Get up and do something. So it's like, I guess you've just been so ingrained with you got to move and go that it's like you can't stop. And then you turn around and you own 100 companies and you're like, what am I fucking doing? Oh my God, people listen to me. They take my advice. Holy shit. This got real fast. Dude, it is so fun, but you cannot stop. And that's the one thing, like, it's great seeing other friends in different industries too. I own a ton of businesses. I see friends in every one of them. Some of them that like industries that you didn't ever think you'd see an NFL player in. There's millions of them. And it's like, I remember you. Do you remember me? Oh my God, we used to do the damn thing, dude. It's like, so fun.
We lived in Washington, in Seattle, and Boone, you were there for a few months too.
Oh yeah,
playing for the Seahawks.
It's gorgeous.
And I'm in Washington. I'm watching like a local, one of those Saturday morning local news shows. And Sidney Rice, the former Vikings and Seahawks receiver, is like a big winery owner out there.
Yeah,
and like to your point, guys get it. Guys have different hobbies and things, and then they've got some money to maybe just, hey, I'll be the money guy and bring in someone who is immersed in the business, and we can partner on something.
Which is the whole goal, right? Like when you look back, that was the whole goal of the NFL, and they really do they do a good job of taking care of you. It's on you to take care of yourself. They will open every fucking door that they can open for you. They just can't physically walk through it for you. They're like, hey man, you need to go meet all these people and use what you've done and to your best interest and go out there and meet people. And I'm telling you, it is so fun. And the whole journey is like, as you're going through the NFL, you're making all these friends, right? You're meeting new people. You're competing against some of the greatest athletes in the world. Should have played Aaron Donald more than anybody. It was so fucking fun. And then you turn around and they're like, now take that experience and use it in the business world. Go. Because if you just stop, you're going to end up dying, dude. You cannot sit still and be like, this is great. Like, I know that a lot of guys are like, they have nothing to do with football. That's great. But they do other things. Mm-hmm. They own other companies. Hell, I played with a guy who's a fucking fireman now. He played 10 years in the NFL. He's a fireman. He didn't have to be a fireman. He's just like, I loved it. I want to go do this. I think this is great. And it's like, it's so cool to turn around and be like, what did you end up? You did? You own oh, dude, good for you.
Dude, you guys see Ken Griffey Jr. on the baseball side?
He's a photographer.
Who made like a $500 million. Did
you see that?
Is a
the shot.
He got
Randy Johnson.
Masters,
we used to see Randy Johnson at ours, and it's like, this guy's got $100 million, and he's standing. But why? Because he's standing on the sidelines of an NFL game, fucking around, while everyone was like, "Is that Randy Johnson?" Here he's like, "I love this picture." Like he's doing what he loves, which is so cool, and at the same time, having a blast. That's what it's all about, man. Just having a blast with life.
You have to have a purpose. Like, you know, like, again, like, I remember Boone being like talking to people in the locker room, just like he said, like, retire when you're 30 and then you don't have to do anything. You don't become one of the top 1% of the 1% of the world by being okay with doing nothing.
Yep.
Like, it just doesn't register in your brain of, oh, I can just sit here and do nothing. You have to go. And the guys that have the issues are the ones that don't find a purpose post-football. Because if you become an NFL player, since you were in high school, your whole identity at times has become, I am a football player, right? So you're talking 4 years in high school, 4 years and 5 years in college, however long you play. I mean, you're talking a decade and a half of I am a football player. And the hard part with the NFL is it's not a hey, let's set up your retirement party and talk about your transition plan out of the NFL and what are you going to do? Like, it just is cold turkey, hard line.
You're done.
You're done, right? And then you're sitting there and you're going, whoa, what do you mean I'm done? Like, okay, I guess I'm done. There's no intramural. I can go play football with my buddies in the backyard, or like it's done, right? It finishes. And so you have to find something that gives you that drive and that purpose that you can channel that football like drive into, or else you'll go nuts. Like, dude, I know guys that are going nuts.
That point is, I guess I've never thought of it that way, but like if you're a golfer and you're professional, you're PGA, let's say you're a fringe PGA Tour card guy, and you made it for a few years, but now you can't play on the PGA Tour anymore. Mm-hmm. Well, you can still golf till you're like 80. Or if you play like guitar or piano or something or whatever, you can't play left guard. Like there's so the thing that you did is just out of your life.
It's funny you say that,
because it literally just scoops an entire part out of your life. Mm-hmm. Right. And so many times you're not ready for that. Right. Like, there's no buildup to it. Like, very rarely you see the guys like the Phillip Rivers and the Nick Hardwicks and the Eli Mannings that got to have this amazing career, and they go out on their terms. They had the farewell tour. This is my last year. That's like 0.01% of the NFL.
0.0001%.
Like, so much the NFL is the game tells you when you're done. Right. Like, you don't decide when you're done. The phone just stops ringing. People don't want you anymore. You have been forgotten about. You've been played with. You're an old plaything. See ya. You no longer matter to us. And that whole piece of your life is scooped out and gone, and you'll never recreate it. Like, I can never recreate a Sunday night football. I can never recreate week 4 of training camp. Like, those type of things are just, they're gone. And when you're trying to figure out how to fill those voids in your life, it's really easy to turn to the wrong things. Yeah,
that's where F1 comes.
That's where F1 comes
for the
in,
F1
right?
minute.
But really though, like, it's really easy to turn to the wrong things, and Boone and I have seen guys turn to because you chase that adrenaline high, right? And how do you get that? You can get it with drugs, alcohol, women, all the vices that are out there. Like, anything that like you're going to go push out to pursue. A lot of bad things. You got to find something good. Hey, let me pour my energy into a business. Let me pour my energy into real estate. I'm
going to go coach kids, right? Like, do something.
Like, you have to, because if it's not just going to sit there, and the longer it sits there and bottles up, I've seen guys just explode, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what happened, dude? Are you okay?
And it's the hardest thing too, because nobody ever wants to think about not playing, right? Like, I remember when my mentor, like year 2, was like, all right, we got to think about retirement. And I remember I was like, I will kill you. And he was like, just bringing it up, right? And every year, and it was another conversation. It was another sentence into the conversation, to where eventually it's like, you got to know, man, when you're done, you got to have something ready to go. Because there are guys that, Jay's not wrong, they go fucking nuts and they don't know who they are. And it's like Jay said, they think they're just simply football players. And it's like, we're humans, dude. We're not football players. Okay. We're all human. And at some point you can't play this game. Like, I was talking to all these rookies and they were like, man, it'd be great to play 20 years. And I was like, dude, the NFL's not meant to play 20 years. You didn't put enough in if you're playing 20 fucking years. Yeah, there's the anomalies of Tom. Tom is one of 10 million dudes that have gone through this league. One. He is the anomaly. And yes, there'll be another anomaly, but the rest of us were normal. And we gave everything we had, and 10 years was enough. Shit, dude. Like, you don't understand the problems you're going to have when you're done, that you need to start taking care of yourself. And I will say the NFL does a lot better job of that now. They're trying as much as they can. Like I said, they're not going to force feed you shit. They're going to be like, hey, if you need help, you come to us. If you want to know more, come to us. You want to get your fucking master's degree? We'll pay for it. You want to get your PhD? We'll pay for it. Like, you want to get your airplane license? We'll pay for it. Like, they'll pay for everything. You just have to physically walk through that door. And a lot of guys are like, oh, I'm going to do that. And 2 years in, they're like, I'm exhausted. And you're like, yeah, welcome to the NFL. There is no time off. Get your airplane pilot's license. What the fuck did you think this was? Like, you thought you were just going to go out for 6 months and do what you want? Like, dude, you're out of your mind.
Well, that's where the things like the trust and a lot of the post-career stuff that the NFL has built very, very well, of building that transition out now. You just in the last 2-3 years is so much better than it was even when I left in 2015 or 2019.
But yeah, dude, like, that's why you see so many guys getting into so many things, is because they've been so driven for so long, and coaches have always been like, we got to go, 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 that the minute they stop, they're like, this is wrong. I was always told to go. I was never told to stop. If I stop, bad things happen. And it's great to see the success that these guys are having, man. It's so fun to run into people that you're like, They're like, oh, I played in the NFL. You're like, so did I. Son of a bitch. Who'd you play with? Like, you just go back and forth. And do you know this coach? Do you know that coach? I know that motherfucker. Yeah. Dude, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, no, that's what a cool answer. That was a great, two really good questions.
Very good
and
questions.
We are out of time for this one.
We are. Jesus.
Keep sending us your dumb football questions. These guys will rack them up all throughout the offseason and answer them. And yeah, click that like button and the subscribe button too if you haven't done those things on the O-Line Committee YouTube channel. So, all right, dudes. I'm going to some industry convention summits this week. I've never been to Toronto before. Going to be up in. Did you ever go to Toronto when you were in Buffalo, Jay?
Never. My wife did, but I never made the trek out there.
Okay. And then the Barrett Sports Media Summit in Chicago later this week, where I'm sure O-Line Committee will be all the rage.
Mackey on the road. Go for it,
Get a steak, Mackey, while you're there.
We'll be back next week here, probably a Monday recording, maybe a Tuesday. We'll see what our schedules are like. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out with us here on the O-Line Committee. For Booney, for Jay, I'm Phil. See you guys.